Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Jean-Michel Basquiat cards by Theory 11 in collaboration with the Basquiat Estate. Obviously some people just say his last name is Basquiat and that's the only thing they call him. Anyway, he's an artist. He died, but he was a neo-expressionist artist who was raised or born in Brooklyn. So this deck of cards is in collaboration with him, and throughout the deck of cards you'll see things that are featured from all of this is his art. It's authentic Basquiat art. On the front you'll obviously just see his name written out. Then you'll see the crown, which is something that is very common for him. I knew about this crown drawing before I knew about the rest of his art. So you'll see that, and then a bunch of other sketch type things on the front of it in yellow. And then you'll see on the back is the back design, as well as a seal that says his name and has the crown up here. So let's take a look at the cards. Actually, before we take a look at the cards, I'm actually going to take a look at the box some more. So if you take a look at the box, you'll see, actually there's one more card in here, but you'll see there's drawings and sketches on the inside of this as well. Also from him, right, there's a cheese popcorn drawing, which is something that you'll see throughout the deck as well. So that's just the box, and let's get to the cards. So when you take a look at the cards, you will see that there are two unique jokers. There's this joker and this joker. Both of these are originals, obviously, as well as the Ace of Spades is customized. The Two of Spades is normal, except for you will see on the spades that the pip is not a standard bicycle pip, as well as that the placement of the pips on the number cards are not in the same place, right? There's also drawings on some of them, but do not take up the whole thing, right? There's nothing on the three, but the layout is different. Four obviously has stuff, and I'm not exactly sure if the ones that have, say, a 7 does and a 4 does have something on it. Are those numbers significant? I'm not sure. But then there's an 8 that does. Right, you see unique patterns, right? This is not something that is how they're normally configured. As well as, of course, the court cards. For the spades. Very unique, and it takes up the whole page, right? There's color all the way to the end of the card. And now you get to the diamonds, of course. All the aces are completely custom. Then you see not many drawings on the diamonds. And this actually is more of a normal configuration with these numbers. Just different, of course, pips. Not the normal diamond, and not the normal color actually either. Then you get to the jack and the king. The jack, the queen, and the king. Again, very unique. Same with the king and jack of clubs. This deck of cards, not necessarily the art style, but the artistry is reminiscent to me of the flying dog playing cards that I did a review, and I'll put a link to it right up here in the top right corner, where the deck of cards is not necessarily a deck of cards that I would use on a daily basis, right? So here's the clubs, ace of clubs. Now to the hearts. You can see the hearts here. Again, the court cards, then the rest of the cards with some drawings, right? The classic crown is seen throughout this, and then different configurations, and even an interaction with this drawing and the pip, which I think is something very interesting. And you see that with this drawing as well, because not all of these drawings are unique to each card, but they're thrown without, and you'll see this drawing again. But here's the Basquiat card from Theory 11, and then here is another one, and this is the same as this, or it's very reminiscent of this. of the Ace of Hearts. So that is the faces, but now let's move on to the back design. So let's take a look at the back design. The back design, very interesting, reminiscent of other cards as well, like the off-the-wall cards in the Svengali series. I guess the colors are just reminding me of that, the red and the yellows, and the amount of color that's actually on the back design. Because I think you'll see in a lot of other decks of cards where it's a cool picture, but say it's like two colors. It's either gold and like there's a couple of color combinations that are often pretty common and usually more line worky. But again, this is reminiscent of the Flying Dog playing cards as well as the off-the-wall Svengali series, just because of how much the colors are. And I guess what I was saying earlier is in a similar way to those decks of cards, these are not decks of cards that I would necessarily perform Magic with, not because of the handling, because I'll talk about that, but the handling handles very nicely as far as dribbling and springing goes, and as well as shuffling, because it is printed by the United States Playing Card Company. But it draws more attention than in the average deck of cards. But you'll also see that because of all the color, it creates for a very cool spread, just like so. You'll see all this color just kind of melting through from one card to the other is kind of how I would describe it. And it's very cool. And then this is what the fan looks like, also very unique. That's the fan that direction, and this is the fan the other direction. Yeah, so it's just very unique, and I enjoy this deck. I actually got it a little while ago, but have gotten around to reviewing it now, and it's definitely a nice one to add to the collection. It's a very unique deck of cards, and however, it does kind of follow suit with some of the other Theory 11 decks of cards that they have created in collaboration with entities such as like the Basquiat Estate, or how they have made collaborations with Marvel or Star Wars, right? A couple other ones that I'm going to be reviewing coming up. There are also collaborations with other entities, and I think that that's something that's very reminiscent of Theory 11 in the present times, is something that they're doing a lot, and I like it because it's able to give a voice to, obviously, say in Marvel or Star Wars, it's not really bringing to light things that aren't prevalent. But there are people that don't necessarily know who Basquiat is, or don't necessarily think about some of the other people. I know there's a Notorious B.I.G. playing cards that have come out, and I am going to review those in the near future. It just kind of brings light to the people that it's on, but it also brings another kind of artistic medium. Yeah, an artistic medium to like bring these things through, because now you're taking someone's art and you're putting on cards, which is like just a new way for that to be introduced into society and talked about, the same way that the Notorious B.I.G. cards are the Notorious B.I.G. Obviously, a lot of people know who he is or who he was, but the overlap with playing cards is just an interesting intersection that I appreciate. All that to say, yeah, this is the Basquiat playing cards. I hope you guys did enjoy. This is made by Theory 11. I'll leave a link in the description box down below to where you guys can pick this deck up if you guys would like. And without further ado, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to give this video a comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.